Welcome back, comrades. This is Gaming with Austin. And today, we are on episode 102 of Season 2 of the Utopian Community series. What we're going to do this episode is we're going to keep continuing on with Floor 10 North America or Russia, Floor 9 International. We're going to keep doing this until every last floor has been taken care of. There's a pretty disturbing reason why people like to body shame others. What drove people into being lazy from the start? A lot of it has to do with survival during times of scarcity. We have lazy people today for that same reason. The goal of the Utopian community is to set up an example of a post-scarcity society, in which people don't need to fight over resources anymore, because there's already more than enough to satisfy everybody's needs. There'd be more than enough to satisfy everybody's needs. Assuming a vegan diet. Want to know what drives people into giving up their vegan or vegetarian diets? One potential factor is health problems. Because some people simply waste away and die because of a genetic disorder. that inhibits their ability to produce an enzyme that they need. That is only found in animals. That is only found in mammals. What differentiates animals from plants is that animals need to produce taurine to survive, or acquire it if they can't produce it. They need taurine in some form to survive. Omnivores and herbivores, like humans, produce as much as needed. Taurine is what keeps cats alive. Dogs will produce enough taurine if given the right amount of protein. Like 25 grams of protein out of 1,000 total calories. Your body needs to produce taurine in order for you to survive. What drives us into waging war with one another? Back in the early days, like in the... during the first days of warfare, we waged wars with other tribes over food and water. And those wars we waged over food and water went to a point in which mice tend to be a lot more competitive than we are. That is because they multiply very quickly. Even though they're a lot smaller than we are, they are known to steal our food. Because when it goes to food, they need a lot of grain too. In fact, they need a lot more carbs than we do, per 1,000 kilocalories. Per 1,000 kilocalories, mice need a lot more carbs. Cats mainly use their claws to hunt. They don't necessarily use it to defend themselves, they use it mainly for hunting. Claws are necessary because they need them to hunt rats and mice. And cats play a very important role in the ecosystem. Because it's not just... some of the bird species pose a threat to human race, too. Because they spread disease like wildfire as well, in the form of avian flu. Mice multiply very quickly compared to cats. Along with its rodent cousin rats. I'm not just about saving the animals, but also keeping the ecosystem balanced. To prevent the collapse of the ecosystem. Even cats have predators too. They're higher up in the food chain than cats. We should leave it up to the apex predators. We truly are not apex predators at all. Why? Because they are animals that have been known to eat humans. Like lions and tigers. They are higher up the food chain than we are. Even though cats may be small, they are pretty deadly. For a very good reason. If you leave mice to their own devices, they're gonna take over the world, literally. They would, even though those pesky little pests are pretty small, they have the power to kill us all, if left to their own devices. They multiply very quickly. One generation, 2 mice. Next generation, there's going to be about 10 mice. Then 50 mice. Generation after that, 250. Then 1250. They multiply very quickly. Then 6,250. They multiply very fast. It's hard to stop the multiplication of mice, unless you have cats on hand. Want to know what's going to happen when humans become overpopulated? Wars become perpetual. There'd be a war over resources. Like, the resources we need to survive. Basically, constant prison riot going on because of scarcity. Basically, a prison riot happening because of food scarcity. Similar to what you'll see in Repentless by Slayer, the music video. The prison riot would happen. The we see food, we eat it. That is actually human nature. Because that actually helped us survive. It's hardwired into our brains from birth. It's actually hardwired into our brains from birth. And probably even before birth. Because we didn't know when our next meal was back then. We did not know when our next meal was. Humans didn't know when the next meal was. So we did the we see food, we eat it. That was the only way humans could survive. Back in the Stone Age. They had to eat what they saw. Or else they would risk dying when the famine struck again. A human can usually go about 3 to 8 weeks without food. But only 3 to 7 days without water. But we seafood, we eat it. That is hardwired into our brains from birth. That is how infants survive. That is how children survive their growth spurts. Because if their growth was stunted, because little to no food was available to their body to use, convert to energy, they would have died. Which probably explains why children eat so much sugar today. It all started back in the Stone Age. Children who didn't have as much access to sugar would have died from malnutrition. As babies, our brains are naturally hardwired to consume sweet stuff. From birth. Which is exactly why junk food tastes so good. Your body needs antioxidants. How come cats don't want tofu as their cat food? Because their body cannot digest it. And that is because they are obligate carnivores. Just like all obligate carnivores, cats will hunt. Like all obligate carnivores. But with dogs, we bred them not to be more... we bred them to be less carnivorous. The reason why we cannot breed cats to be less carnivorous is because we need their carnivorous behavior for the survival of the human race. Their violent behavior, the cat's violent behavior is what keeps humans alive. Even if we kept... The problem we'll face if we keep the trash out of reach of mice is that they're going to raid grocery stores. We don't want that. So it's better that we just leave the trash to them. better that we leave the trash to them. Vegetable protein is something Moggy cannot digest. Yes, I'm using it to refer to cats in general. The reason why cats won't eat plant-based cat food is because they cannot digest it. How will they find out that their food is not meat? They can smell it. Meat decomposes a lot more quickly than vegetables. Which is why you're not going to see cats eat plants. Cats are carnivores, by nature. The reason we cannot have a society in which animals stop killing one another is that some animals have to kill another one just to survive. Like cats. Whenever one hunk of biomass like mice or rats have a greater need for food per pound of body weight compared to another animal of the same biomass, like humans, we would have to compete with mice over food. Cats are the ultimate weapon. Cats are pretty awesome. They are very important in society. No wonder the Egyptians worshipped cats. The real reason they did was the fact that cats are what kept their food safe and sound from mice. Or what kept our food safe and sound from mice. If it wasn't for our cats, we would see a collapse in the ecosystem from both disease and famine. The problem with human overpopulation, it's not just food shortages becoming frequent. More and more frequent, disease will spread a lot more quickly. Because there's a lot more hosts for the parasite to infect. Anyways, this is it for this video. Don't forget to leave a like if you like this video, dislike if you disliked it, subscribe for more. Share this with your comrades on social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. As always, thank you for watching, stay tuned for more, and peace out.